Hello and welcome back to the Lit Cave. And today I'm doing a video just to take a couple of minutes. I wanted to talk to you about the book series that I am going to read in 2015. Now, right now these are all intended to read. They're on my TBRs for specific months. I plan on reading them this year. Of course, anything could happen. It's, almost the end of January and we have nearly a whole year to go. But these are the book series that I plan to read in 2015. So, some of the first ones that are actually in my TBR that I plan to read in 2015 are the Fairyland series. So, the Fairyland series is currently a trilogy by Catherine M. Valente, and it features 3 books which have ridiculously long names. They are The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making, The Girl Who Fell Beneath Fairyland and Led the Revels There, and The Girl Who Soared Over Fairyland and Cut the Moon in Two. Those are the 3 books that currently exist. Now, there is a 4th book that comes out in March, and I did not know about this when I planned my original TBR, or the books I was going to buy in 2015, but this is now on the list, and that is The Boy Who Lost Fairyland, is book number 4. So, I don't honestly know a ton about these books, although my understanding is there's some connection to fairy tale retellings, which I tend to like. And Read Susie Reed gave rave reviews to this series, so it is one book series that I really want to read. Another book series that I'm really eager to read, and right now I also have planned to read this in March, is The King Killer Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss. So, The King Killer Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss has right now there's 3 books that you can buy individually that are part of The King Killer Chronicles. They are The Name of the Wind, The Wise Man's Fear, and The Slow Regard of Silent Things. The Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear are both full-length novels, and The Slow Regard of Silent Things is a novella featuring one individual character from the series. The King Killer Chronicles are labeled as heroic fantasy, and the primary character, my understanding is that the primary character is a musician and is our hero. And so I've heard really good things about this series. Everyone I know that's read them has really liked them, so I'm eager to read them. And hopefully I won't be let down, and I'll want to continue in that series. So those are actually both series I plan on reading in March right now, but we'll see if we actually stick to that. Additionally, now I'm mainly focusing on book series that I haven't started. Okay, so additionally, I'm going to back up to February. One book series I plan on reading in February is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. And this features Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of God and Monsters. Now, to be honest, I don't know a ton about this series other than that it features angels and that Catty-tastic is pretty much obsessed with this series. It's like her favorite series. I don't know if it's her favorite series ever or just her favorite series from the last year, but every time I see her talk about it, she is raving about it. And so I'm interested. I've only read a short story by Laini Taylor from a Christmas short story collection. And it was honestly not my favorite short story, but I want to give the series a try. I've heard good things about it from a lot of people. So I'm going to read that in February. In April, and I may get to this before then, but in April I have planned to read the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Very, very eager to read the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I've seriously heard absolutely nothing but good things about this series, and it may be the series I'm most excited to read out of all the series I have planned. This is also fantasy, and this has a magic system where the people swallow metal, and that metal influences their magic. That's my understanding. And it just sounds really, really fantastic. I've heard nothing but good things about any of Brandon Sanderson's books, so I'm very excited to read that. In the Mistborn trilogy is 3 books: The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages. There is additionally a 4th book that's in the Mistborn world, but it's not part of that trilogy, so I'm going to set that aside for now. And then the next series I would be interested in reading also in that month is the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness, which is A Discovery of Witches, Shadow of Night, and the Book of Life. And this is also a fantasy series, although whereas Mistborn is considered like high fantasy, this I don't think is quite in the same category. But what interested me about this is, from what I understand, the premise is that someone basically opens a book in the library and it kind of releases magic into the world and calls forth all kinds of things. That could be a totally wrong understanding of what these books are about, but that's what I've read in brief. And that sounds really interesting to me, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Alright, series that I'm interested in reading in May. May, I wanted to get to the Bloodline series by Rochelle Mead. It's going to be a 6-book series, and the first 5 books are already out. They are called Bloodlines, The Golden Lily, The Indigo Spell, The Fiery Heart, and Silver Shadows. So I really did love the Vampire Academy series, and it kind of grew on me as they went. So I really expect that these books will continue to impress me, and maybe even more than the Vampire Academy series, since Rochelle Mead is probably improved as an author as she's continued to write. So I'm excited about that. Alright, other series that I'm interested in reading this year. In June, I have 3 different trilogies I was going to try and get through. The first one is the Darkest Minds trilogy by Alexandra Bracken. And my understanding is this follows a group of people with powers, a group of teenagers with powers. This is YA, fiction and fantasy. And the books are The Darkest Minds, Never Fade, and In the Afterlight. I'm also going to read the Grisha trilogy, which I actually bought and have hauled in my, I think it was my Boxing Day, it might have been my Black Friday sale from a book outlet. And they are Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Rune and Rising. And those books are basically Russian historical fiction fantasy and YA. And their Goodreads ratings are really high, so I'm super excited to read those. And the third trilogy I'm really interested in reading during the month of June is the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. And those are Fallen Kingdoms, Rebel Spring, and Gathering Darkness. To be honest, I know nothing about this other than that it is often compared to Game of Thrones, which a lot of things are compared to nowadays. But I've heard really good things about this series as well. So that takes us out to July. By the way, you're going to hear a lot of these books come back up in my monthly TBRs, because I really have a lot of series that I'm trying to read during this year. I've decided that I'm just really a big fan of series, and so I'm focusing more on series. And that actually is all the series that I've got written down to read during this year. There's some other series that I was interested in starting if I had spare time in individual months. So I'm not going to flash up any of the books there, but some of the book series that I wanted to try at least the first book and see what I thought are the Jason Bourne series by Robert Ludlum, the Jack Reacher series by Lee Child, the Alex Cross series by James Patterson, the James Bond series by Ian Fleming, the Jack Ryan series by Tom Clancy, and some books by Harlan Coben, which I know he has a series as well, and the Game of Thrones series by George R.R. Martin. So, out of all these series that I've listed that I haven't read any books of at all, why don't you comment down below and let me know which one's your favorite, which ones you've read and loved, or which ones you're most eager to jump into. And let me know if you think I'll be wasting my time with any of them. Please don't leave any spoilers about any of the series, since obviously I'm planning on reading them, and I don't want to be spoiled for those things. But until then, see you same lit time, same lit channel.